Damn, this is harder than I thought. I'll just go with silver.
Sup, Ellis?
Hi, Sophie.
How do you like my new back tat?
Wow, that looks great.
Why, thank you. I appreciate it.
Sophie, can I tell you something?
Sure.
Well...
Speak up, Ellis. Tell me something. Let that confession out before you cry alone for not having that chance. Trust me, I speak from experience.
Well, I'm into punk-looking girls.
Aw, you do? How flattering. Except I'm not punk-looking. I'm a punk through and through. See, it wasn't that hard. To me, though, it's the opposite when I can't remember my native language. It's been years since I left my home country. That and my autism. Anyway, do you mind if I review this game looking like this?
Oh no, I do not mind it.
Well, alright then, sweetie.
Here we go. Think about the promises that kept you walking, wandering in time. Whoa, hey, yo. Don't you know they kept you walking, kept you wanting, kept you walking every morning? Here we go. Think about the promises that kept you walking, wandering in time.
Look, it's the bonus gift that was included with Geometry Wars. Don't fight me! Project Gotham Racing was a good game, if infuriating. PGR was the best seller for a launch title with its unique gameplay style compared to its contemporaries at the time. I guess you know what this means. Bizarre Creations relit a sequel almost from scratch with its 3D engine, physics model, and such carried over and tweaked, as well as implementing online features for the then new Xbox-like service. 2 years after that, Project Gotham Racing 2 was released in November 2003, again exclusively on the original Xbox. We used to call this the Xbox One after the 360 came out, thanks Microsoft. I should point out that the game is compatible with the 360, with some major problems. It does run fine compared to PGR1 on this console, the slowdowns are few and far between, and it's only frequent when there's 8 cars on the screen, but there can sometimes have chirpy sound as well as showing a black screen when selecting a car, and the hard freezes, awfully random freezes. You have to be lucky to play 1 hour without a freeze, which forces you to restart the console. I have been playing this game for over 9 hours on the 360, and I'm surprised I didn't get a red ring yet. Really, I think PGR1 is better on it because I don't have to worry about the darn crashes. If I could either mod the console, update the compatible files, or just get the OG Xbox, that would be great. But alas, I have to live for this shit. At first, I thought starting up the game was inconsistent. Sometimes you could just skip right from the Microsoft intro, but other times you have to wait until it gets to the intro movie, and even then it has a loading bar when you try skipping it. Like, why is that? Is the disc not hot enough for almost instant skipping? Then I learned that it's a matter of the Xbox's hard drive cache, as it reserves a section of it to your last played game. So if this was it, and you then decide to play it again the next day, it will skip to the title screen right away. But if you last played something else, then that section gets replaced with that, and if you decide to play PGR2 right after playing any other game, then you get that long loading. Even the 360 has to emulate the thing. But enough about technical jargon. Here's an ugly cut that I have to pretend it's a thing of beauty. The Countach is better, and DeAndre Lambo's here. Jane Vasco is back on the case. And it's not copyrighted, so that's good. So you have the 2 main modes, Kudos World Series and Arcade Mode. I'll talk about them later, but for now, I'm going to the KWS, getting the first challenges, and shit, the aforementioned black screens at the car select. Thankfully, Bizarre thought ahead and had the garage menu, where you can select your car by just using the menu traditionally, or walk around the place anywhere you like. Why did they slow down the walking in the next games anyway? I bet that arcade cabinet is just a prop. Well shit, it isn't. This is Geometry Wars, a fun little arcade game that's similar to Asteroids. Seems pretty fun for like 2 minutes. Let's just move on. First event, here we go! Actually, I want to play Geometry Wars again.
I hope you don't get addicted by it.
So the game is a twin-stick shooter, and your objective is to shoot at the little alien ships that keep spawning out of nowhere. There are different types of aliens, like the cluster ones, the avoiding green ones, and black holes, where you must shoot them as fast as possible before they make a giant explosion and leave fast little blue circles. You have 3 lives and 3 screen clearing bombs, which you earn as you play. And as you do, you also pick up better weapons. This is really not good for your eyes, as there's gonna be a lot of colorful sprites as well as flashy imagery, much like the screen flashing white whenever I quit a race. The problem gets worse when you play later iterations like Retro Evolve, but wouldn't you know it, this is the most stable part of the game when playing on the 360. Really, it's all about getting a high score and survive for as long as you can, but fuck, it's so addicting. Those simple games like Tetris are a menace to my P-brain, but I must stop it. I have to review the main portion.
I'll keep it coming with the ooh. I'll keep it coming with the ooh. I'll keep it coming with the ooh.
The graphics look really well for a 2003 Xbox game. Sure, the cars look way weirder than the NSX Forza 1, and the reflections are turned down from the first, but they're still a good look yet, for lack of a better word, detailed. And the scenery looks really nice too, makes me want to visit these places. Except Barcelona, which, well, I actually live close to it. Too close maybe. Look! Burbs! It is nice to see widescreen for the first time in PGR history, although something is odd about, more odd than the cars. I just can't put my finger on it. Can I see footage of the first game, please? Ah! As God is my witness, the frame rate is broken in half! I need to lay out the wrestling references. Now, I don't mind 30 FPS, it's only a problem when developers decide to add motion blur, but it's also a problem when the first game had a smoother frame rate. Alas, the Pumpkinheads doubled down on it with subsequent releases, even adding motion blur to the mix. Ugh. This is probably another side effect of shitty emulation, but sometimes if you skip the city panouts, the game could give you a loud jump scare and I have to brace myself by muting my TV. Anyway, sound is good. I really like the engine noises, not as vacuum sounding as Gran Turismo, nor as pathetic as Underground 1. Not like the real deals though, but it's still a good listen. However, and I might be a nitpicky here, but that swoosh sound when you receive kudos is the same, but of lower quality. The game has a radio like the first, but that's another side effect of the crappy emulation job. It doesn't play, so you're stuck with playing virtual CDs. Not that I mind at all, this game is so jam-packed with a bunch of songs from international artists. It includes tracks from the likes of Trapped, Simple Plan, Hot Action Cop, Uncle Cracker, Biff Naked, Sir Mix-a-Lot, again, DJ Vadim, Image, Alex Stark, Wangley and Bang, and a whole lot of others. One problem though, well two. Despite Barcelona being in this game, there's not a single Catalan song in here. No, not just a song made by a Catalan, a song in Catalan. It's all Spaniard-speaking songs. What is this twist culture? Fortunately, you can still add songs for RIP CDs and play them as you race. But again, only on the original Xbox. Oh shit, I'm not even done with the game yet. So the gameplay is a bit similar to the first game, a great balance for arcade and simulation driving. Maybe it's the frame rate that's screwing in my mind, but while the physics have as much freedom as the first game, you can still perform jumps and two-wheeling, the handling is somewhat like Metropolis Street Racer. Still, a car's handling depends on its stats. It includes power sliding. If that is high enough, you drift a lot easier. Even then, some cars tend to understeer even when going slow. That also applies to roadsters like the Lotus 340R. And some others, like old muscle cars, tend to get tail habit, which is really frustrating when doing the cone challenges. I must moan and be upset while he's with me. I have to be stoic so that he won't see me as a sad, childish prick. Come on!
Look, if you want to get your frustration out, that's okay. I also get all angry about these parts of the game. But if you keep failing to get that number, it's best to lower the difficulty. No need to be a hard ass.
Like the previous game, you still have the kudos system. You get them by drifting, passing cars, jumping, two-wheeling, getting clean sections, having time to spare after a time challenge, and pressing through gates. Now you also receive them by drafting and going to a corner quickly as you can. As before, shedding them will give you extra kudos, which is required for cone challenges if you want to get gold. Just be warned that you only have 2 seconds to do another stunt before it ends. If you hit a wall or a cone, you don't always lose kudos you're about to get. If you're doing a chain and do so, you're gonna lose the bonus kudos, which is actually more infuriating. Most game modes are carried over from the first one, like standard races, duels, time runs, which don't have traffic this time, hot laps, which is not the same as time runs but you get one lap, overtake challenges, and style challenges. Now known as cone challenges, but you now have to chain cone gates together, as well as getting cornering bonuses to get the target kudos. It's like reading a script. God damn it!
Sophie, I've watched your BFBB review and I just realized. Aren't you the person who did that one SpongeBob meme video over a decade ago?
Ah! Why did you unlock a repressed memory for me? But you also have a new one, Speed Camera, where you must reach a certain speed so the camera can register. Basically a replacement for the average speed challenges. If you want gold, you have to get the fastest car that can accelerate quickly to that. Platinum? Oh god, I am not much of a sadomasochist for that.
Hey, that stylish look you have reminds me of Pain. You know, the Final Fantasy character?
Oh, I know what you mean. You like it a lot, huh? The short hair, the red eyes, the target tire. I do look more like a short-haired Casey Lynch with a bikini top and collar too.
Hey, femboy.
Hi, Mom.
So, how's college? Or, to be more accurate, how's university?
Well, I've been studying a lot lately, just having my break.
Well, I hope you don't get distracted by those video games for a long time. You have your upcoming test. I just want to see you become my little sophomore baby. Hey, is she your new roommate?
What? Oh, yeah, her name is Sophie. Transfer student from Toronto.
What's up?
The name's Sharon Phyllis. As you can see, I'm his mother. You don't look like a student to me. I mean, you think that's appropriate for it?
Well, yeah. After all, the standards have changed since you last went to college. Assuming you went to college.
Whatever. Be glad I'm not allowed to beat your lesbian ass without getting arrested.
Actually, I'm pansexual.
So, you fuck frying pans then? Ugh. Why can't I meet someone normal for a change?
Hey!
Oh, shut it! Next time I visit his apartment, I'll be keeping my eye on you.
We'll see about that. She's in it for a surprise when she meets her undead sister.
How did you... Oh, right. You're possessed.
Yep, which means I can somehow change how I sound. Glad I dodged a bullet, thanks to you, Lauren.
No problemo. So, what do you study?
Fine arts. I've always wanted to get into animation as a professional job.
I also wanted to be in animation. Off to the main modes. The first one is Kudos World Series, which is the Kudos challenge with the first game, except you have to drive a specific class of cars on a category. For example, the first one is where you drive sporty hatchbacks like the Lancia Delta and the Seat Leon. Like Kudos challenge, you get to those challenges that require you to beat the target time, get a podium finish in a race, get over a certain amount of kudos in the code challenges, all that stuff. But unlike that, you have to do a badge taking place in the city to progress to the next. So KWS consists of badges containing badges. It is not as mind-blowing as you think. Unlike PGR 1, you don't need to earn kudos to get medals this time, except the cone challenges. Selecting a medal you want to earn replaces the increment one for the first, and it has been carried over since. So no head starts for your opponent here. Now they range from steel to platinum, and you need at least a form to progress. Of course, you earn kudos by the end of the race, which is key to rank up and earn tokens. Arcade mode is the same, except you try specific cars to win, and there's only 3 badges specific for races, time runs, and cone challenges, meaning that it's more chances to get a gold medal, especially the cone challenges, which are run in just 1 lap compared to the KWS ones. And it's a good time to talk about the AI and the difficulty. Like before, the difficulty depends on the medal you chose for a race, and that includes your opponents. The gold ones will get harsher on you by the time you get to the classic sports cars. Unless you have the best car, you're gonna get your ass kicked and it's difficult to get first place. Now sure, getting second is required to get gold, so I shouldn't complain much, but fuck the opponents. I swear, if I get an X1 in Forza 5, I'm gonna thank these games for drive-avatar training. And the cone challenges, my god. I said it before, but it's my favorite game mode in the entire series. It's just the same that it's sometimes hard to get a good cornering line to keep the chain going. Plus, some cars are very tail heavy, which can cause you to hit a cone from behind, and most understeer when you leave your foot off the pedal.
You've been playing these cone challenges for hours and you didn't even progress much. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm okay. I can do this, no biggie. Oh yeah, another goal down. Right, next challenge. Hey, what are you doing?
You were trying to impress me. Are you?
What? No, I just like a little challenge.
How many times have you been told to stop trying too hard playing on hard mode?
3 or 4 times, including this one.
And you haven't learned anything from those times?
I don't want to look like a scrub.
What's even the point of carrying on playing hard if you know you're not even having fun? Haven't you told yourself in your Forza 2 review that, and I quote, "It's okay to go easy"? Even if you earn more kudos there, gold and even platinum difficulties are only there for bragging rights. So tell me, are you trying to impress me?
Honestly, yes.
Well, there's no need to impress me more. You helped Marie save me. You look cool as hell. You like classic PC games too. That's enough to impress me.
Really?
Yeah! It doesn't matter if those chuds tell you to get good, as long as you protect yourself from death threats. Now quit trying hard and finish the review.
Thanks, Ellis. I am so sorry for making a fool out of myself. Speaking of cars, there's a lot of them with tons of variety. You got roadsters, JDM sports cars, classic muscles, track day cars, supercars, and even SUVs. Man, the early to mid 2000s was an era of big old SUVs in racing games, huh? Shame there isn't a Hummer here, but at least there's a Soccer Mom special, hell yeah! In all seriousness, there are some cars that are the lowest in their classes, and some like the MX-5, the non-turbo speedster, or even the XC90 just don't belong there. They are really underpowered compared to the rest with their low-ass stats. Good luck getting going down any bright track with the Volvo. As for the Speedster, or VX220 in this game's case, the pumpkin hens are British after all, it should have replaced the MX-5 in the sports convertible section since it's really slow as fuck compared to the other roadsters from the likes of the Ellis and the Cobra too. I know it's actually an AC427, but at this point I just call these cars Cobras. Still, I really love the cars here, like the rares from lesser known makers like Ascari and Trident. Plus Porsches are still in this game. But for how long? To unlock cars, you have to spend tokens of your own every time you rank up. Except for those 5 cars, you have to win all the kudos challenges depending on the medal. As for tracks, there are 9 locations to drive on: Chicago, Washington DC, Florence, Stockholm, Edinburgh, Hong Kong, Yokohama, Barcelona, or Barcelona as the Brits pronounce it. Fucking tourists, y'all sound like you're insulting the city! And the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Can you believe this was released 2 years before Forza and GT4? Aside from hell, the city courses consist of narrow roads, 90-degree corners, sharp curves, and a few jumps which offer some unique challenges. The city sections are really detailed and the layouts are accurate. Well, sometimes. Take for instance Barcelona. Some streets in and around Bakikotik, such as those that lead to the Plaza de San Jaume, are wider than in real life. I've been to this part of the city so many times, I know my shit. At least it's not as terrible as Grid 2 or Vin Diesel's The Wheelman, but like the latter, they look empty aside from trash and birds flying around. It's only made worse when it reminds me of the lockdown happening back in early 2020. Other stuff includes time attack, which is self-explanatory. You can either drive any car in any track, or drop a car in a specific track, and instant action, which is where you do a random race the game gives you, no profile needed. Plus, you can visit the showroom and drive any car, even luck ones, in a test track. What else is there? Oh, there's also multiplayer, split screen, system link, finally, and Xbox Network Online Play. I mean Xbox Live Online Play. It would be interesting to try it out since it has its own kudos tally, but Live on the OG Xbox got shut down since 2010, so I'm left with System Link. I'm not gonna sacrifice myself connecting my 360 to X-Link Kai though, my internet is shit anyway. Since this is the second game of a Microsoft series, I'm guessing there aren't any cheat codes for names here, right? God damn it. There have been 2 DLC booster packs that contain cars and 2 cities, Paris and Long Beach, mainly for multiplayer use. Also, did you know there have been DLC for OG Xbox games? Of course, they're not available anymore since many years ago, go figure. So how was it? Well, it's pretty challenging, especially arcade races, but there's at least easier options to progress at the cost of earning more kudos. Still, it's a pretty fun game to pick up and play, and the multiplayer makes it better. I'm just guessing, I never even tried X-Link Kai and probably never will. While it's playable on the 360, it's best to find an original Xbox. Hard to do these days, but hopefully you'll have a greater experience there. Since this is considered the best in the series, I'm gonna set my expectations on the next 2 a bit lower. But at least they're on the 360 so I can get more emulation problems than PGR2. Remind me not to play this on it ever again. I enjoyed it nonetheless. It certainly made me forget about that day for a while. Fucking bitch.
What's wrong?
I had 2 breakups in 1 year, and recently a good partner broke up with me, all because of a despicable rant about dogs I did. It makes sense, those 2 were my fault, but in my last one, she then joined the HEF just to solve my wound even more, and any reminder of it makes me even more depressed. Can I ask you something?
Yes?
Can we go on a date?
Seriously?
Fuck! I shouldn't have said that!
No, it's okay. A 5-year difference wouldn't hurt us.
I really need to think about it.
Well, you asked.
Fuck me, why did I ask him on a date? He's 19, sure he's an adult, but barely. Gosh, what's wrong with me? Why am I so attracted to this barely legal teen? I really need to fuck more men my age or older.